I made this for her on her first birthday.
Rachel Fuller shows us her 4-year-old daughter's bedroom.
It just feels empty.
Across the hall, there's one for her 3-year-old son, too. Neither toddler is home. In fact, the children have not been in years.
So your kids are not with you right now. Where are they?
My rights have actually been terminated.
The last time Rachel saw them was February 2024, but this case goes back to 2020, the first time she gave birth. Per stated process after labor and delivery, the hospital drug screened mom and her newborn. They tested positive for methamphetamine.
I was shocked because I'm a nurse, I'm an RN. I've been a nurse for 9 years. It was just really shocking to me.
Georgia's Division of Family and Children's Services, DFACS, intervened, eventually taking custody of Rachel's daughter. When she later gave birth to a son, she says because of the ongoing open case, the state agency took custody of him too.
She loves unicorns.
So to get her kids back, she agreed to random drug screens.
Have you ever done drugs?
I've never done drugs.
The mom thought the mandated test would prove her innocence. Instead, DFACS records said it repeatedly proved Rachel was positive for meth.
When you know you don't use a drug, but everyone around you is looking at you and they have these tests, in the beginning I didn't understand why I was failing.
Until recently.
I have very severe asthma to the point where I've been intubated and all kinds of stuff.
Medical records document it as a chronic problem. The solution? Inhalers. The inhaler shrinks blood vessels and tissue to open up airways. Rachel uses multiple, including this one, the over-the-counter nasal decongestion inhaler levomethamphetamine. Just as the name implies, the active ingredient, methamphetamine. And it's why Rachel believes her drug screens kept coming back positive.
I love my kids more than anything. And I've never stopped fighting. And I'm never going to stop fighting. I want my children back.
Atlanta News First Investigates uncovered some labs contracted to do drug screens on behalf of the state do not perform a specialized test that distinguishes legal meth like medicine and inhalers from illicit meth like the street drug. That highly specialized test, known as the DL isomer. It can be expensive, pose technical challenges, and state policy does not require it. In Rachel's case, the state made an error by not performing it and had no reliable evidence to demonstrate she has used or abused controlled substances, according to an independent toxicology report presented in court on the mom's behalf. Its author, Dr. Lyle Burgoon, a veteran toxicologist who worked for the Environmental Protection Agency and U.S. Army. Despite their testimony, court records suggest the state did not find Rachel's claims credible. Trial transcripts show DFACS attorneys accused the mother of falsifying paperwork in the past, an allegation Rachel admits. She says she sent an email to the facility where she visited her kids, making it look as if the caseworker granted Rachel permission to see her kids sooner than allowed.
So would you agree you falsified documentation?
I do agree with that, but I shouldn't have been put in that position. I'm not a dishonest person, but anyone, when they're desperate enough for their children.
Alleging if the tests were accurate in the first place, her kids would have never been in state custody.
To a sibling or to a parent.
Melissa Carter sees it that way too.
We need to require confirmation testing, and we need to create mechanisms to pay for it.
The executive director for Barton Child Law and Policy says there should be immediate changes to mandate specific drug screen standards for labs contracted to do work on behalf of Georgia.
There's a real key need here to act with urgency.
Melissa argues taxpayers are footing a bill for incomplete work.
These are not one-offs. This actually is kind of just routine in our child welfare system.
It's unclear how often false positives occur in these cases, but what is certain, a significant number of Georgia parents are subjected to these types of drug screens. We found 40% of all Georgia's child welfare cases are due to substance use allegations.
At this point, this bureaucracy is knowingly recommitted, doubling down, or at least sustaining its kind of routine practices. of relying on these fallible drug tests, the system itself is perpetuating the very harm that it's supposed to be responsible for protecting children from.
Protecting children like Rachel's.
It's the worst feeling. It's been hell. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. It's so hard to be in this house and see them memories everywhere.